It's been said numerous times. Volkswagen is killing itself from within. If this isn't evidence of exactly that happening, of this concept where consumers feel like they're getting screwed, then I don't know what is. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. It's great to see you. Hope you've had an amazing week. Now, this dealership in Germany, well, he's had a hell of a week, a hell of a year. Volkswagen, they sell electric cars in China for prices that are less than half the cost of what they sell almost the same exact car for in Europe. And a lot of consumers think this isn't fair. Even Volkswagen's dealerships think this isn't fair. Now, here's the thing. In China, there are some electric car models, in fact, there's many that you can't get in Europe. And legally, dealerships can actually import those EVs from China and sell them in Europe. It's actually legal to do so. So that's what a Volkswagen dealer did. He began selling electric cars from China in Germany that Volkswagen wasn't selling. Now, there's a specific model of EV called the ID.6, and the ID.6 wasn't on sale in Germany. In fact, it's still not on sale in Germany. So a German Volkswagen dealer actually imported the ID.6 from Volkswagen dealers in China. The Volkswagen dealers didn't care. In China, they went, well, sure, you can buy some. Amazingly, well, maybe not amazingly, but German authorities said, yeah, no problems. You can sell them here. They're fine to sell. And so that Volkswagen dealership went ahead and imported 22 Volkswagen ID.6 vehicles. Now, to be fair here, the ID.6 and in fact all Volkswagen cars are not really made by Volkswagen. They're made by joint venture partnerships. Now, truthfully, Volkswagen does own 50% of those partnerships, but it doesn't really do the manufacturing themselves. It's almost like having a contract manufacturer. And that's one of the reasons why the Volkswagen EVs are so much cheaper in China, why they're so much cheaper to produce, why they cost so much less. Now, there was a bit of a storm. I don't know if I contributed to this. Maybe I did a little bit. I started reporting on the fact that the ID.3 cost $16,000 in China. And in Europe, it cost 40,000 euros, meaning, it was 3 times the price. In fact, nearly 3 times the price to buy the same EV in Europe as what it was in China. And after I reported on this, it seemed like a whole bunch of media started reporting on it as well. And as a result, China actually increased the price a few months later significantly for the ID.3. They raised the price in China, partly from backlash. I don't know what else, but maybe consumers in Europe were saying, why are we paying so much more than Chinese consumers? I mean, double the price, maybe, sure, but more than that? It's crazy. Getting back to the ID.6, this German Volkswagen dealership was selling a vehicle that Volkswagen technically sell in China, and you couldn't buy in Europe. And it was legal. The German government, German regulators said, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. You can go ahead and sell them. Now, technically, the reason they did this is because these vehicles, according to Volkswagen in China, were intended for export and technically adapted to meet the Federal Motor Transport Authority's requirements. So Volkswagen in China said, yeah, these vehicles are being made for export. But Volkswagen overall, as in the head of Volkswagen in Germany, said, no, that's not true. And they actually decided to sue this dealership in Germany. Now, rather than just say, guys, yeah, all right, a mistake was made by our Volkswagen China division. Let's just sort this out. You guys can give the cars to us. We'll pay you for them or just sell them. There's only 22. Who cares? They decided to sue their own dealership. The ID.6 costs a lot less than other similar electric vehicles in the European EV market. And Volkswagen are therefore concerned that this was creating a problem. Now, Volkswagen came out and they said that the ID.6 from China does not adhere to European vehicle standards and therefore cannot be sold in Europe. But in China, Volkswagen said this is the export model. So Volkswagen are clearly very confused. Here's what Volkswagen in Germany, the head office, said. The ID models produced for and in China and sold there are not eligible for approval in Europe due to their hardware and software configuration. Now, that to me is a load of crap. I mean, there's no facts there whatsoever. It's not like Volkswagen came out and said, well, it doesn't have a particular safety feature, therefore it's not legal. They just gave this ridiculous generalization, which proved that they're just making things up as they go along. They said this, technically, they differ significantly from the versions for the European market. Now, no one knows what that means because Volkswagen didn't want to specify exactly why they thought the Chinese version shouldn't be sold in Europe. And it's because there isn't any real reason, considering the German automotive industry said it's not a problem. Anyway, according to the president of the European Commission, Europe's EV market is being flooded with cheap electric vehicles from China, with prices kept artificially low by state subsidies. Now, the reality is there's actually not that many cars right now in Europe being manufactured in China that are being sold. The truth is the European car market has not yet been flooded with EVs. It probably will be, but it hasn't yet been done. So it's more that they're afraid that it will be. I mean, if you look at BYD sales in Germany, they're insignificant. They're very, very small. MG, on the other hand, their sales they're pretty big. But the truth is MG is really the only Chinese car manufacturer that's doing well in Europe. Now, of course, the Dacia Spring, Europe's cheapest EV, is made in Europe as well. But this gets me back to my point. Volkswagen themselves don't seem to have any real clear direction, whether that's the management, the CEO, or even the countries themselves. They're kind of fighting against each other. I don't really understand what's going on. What are your thoughts? Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.